Hey, FlimsyLunchTray here, and welcome to World of Warships with another intermediate guide video, intermediate series. And today is team play makes the dream play, or where does it go? Teamwork makes the dream work, something like that. And this is something that a lot of in the beginning series, when you're a newer player in World of Warships, you really won't see this much at all. You won't see it until you come across players who are maybe more the intermediate level or more experienced veterans of the game. And that is a team, two players who are not even in the same clan. They've never spoken before ever. They don't even know each other. And they decide to work together as a team. And that is actually what's going to happen in this video. And so I wanted to highlight it because I just thought it was fantastic. And this is a positive play, a positive behavior that I want to highlight and really feature and make shine. So this Vampire 2 off to my right here, I've been thinking about asking him in chat if he wouldn't mind doing like the smoke train for me. So Vampire 2 has a crawling smoke screen generator. And I'm like, man, if me and him went up this flank on the 2-1 line, we could probably do a lot of, have a lot of fun with it. But I don't ask him because I want it to be up to him. And also, it means he has to sacrifice a good game for himself in the sense that he probably won't get as much base XP, won't get as much damage, because he's basically, he's doing a team play. So he's helping me to get more base experience, more experience in the game, more damage, all these type of things. So he actually asked me, hey, do you, what did he say? He said, I get to chat. Oh, it's not coming up, never mind. He said, Colbert, do you want to work together? Do you want to utilize smoke screen? And I was like, epic, awesome. Let's do that. Yeah, he said smoke train. So this is a smoke train play. So you've probably seen, if you like watching World of Warships replays by different World of Warships content creators, you've probably seen a Vampire 2 in like a Schlieffen or two Schlieffens doing what you're about to see here. So he tells me, let me know when you get spotted. And because I'm about to get spotted, I let him know that I'm going to get spotted by this Genon. So he goes ahead and smokes me up. I switch to AP here, see if I can get this gene on. But I'm also slowing down here because I'm also trying to be mindful of my smoke fire penalty. So, the replay file is not working very well. So it's like 5-6, I think, for Colbert, but I'm gonna switch back to the high explosive. And then I have my engine boost going, so I need to pick up some more speed, catch back up with the Vampire 2. But I would like to try to stay dark as long as possible so the Iowa, the Kremlin, and the Ohio in the background don't decide to take a shot at me. So now we're going to be able to release a lot of DACA here with Colbert, and he gets taken out by the Shikishima. So that's fantastic. So because I'm off here to the left, even though I'm not in the smoke screen, I can still take advantage of it. I mean, ideally, I want to be able to be in the smoke screen in case someone were to catch me off to the right. But there's really no one that's causing a threat because Grozavoy is even outside of these my firing penalty range. And so he's communicating with me. Like, it's fantastic. So he's saying, you know, follow me, stay on my 6. He's gonna let me know when his smoke screen is getting ready to expire. So on and so forth. So it's just really fantastic teamwork. So here he tells me 30 seconds left. Each of these smoke puffs lasts slightly long, and then they'll dissipate. And I'm being mindful of this. Ohio it really looks like he's trying to get a shot off, possibly, so we go ahead and book it on because he might take a blind firing shot here. And then basically we wrap up here. And then we're going to do it again together as a team. So you can see he's fired some shots, but he's actually not done a lot for himself. But he says that was fun. And that's awesome. I'm glad it was fun for Mr. How do you actually, we can say your name. John YD182. I'm just going to call you John. So now I'm trying to get the island between Ohio, but there's also a Kremlin. So that's going to be an issue, but there's an island between us and Kremlin at the moment. So we're just trying to see how we can maybe utilize our engine boost. When you're taking on battleships with something like a Colbert, having greater distance helps because you can greater avoid the shots. So I'm killing my throttle, and then I decide to go forward, and it's like, actually, yeah, it wouldn't have been better for me to not accelerate. But let's talk a little bit more just about team play, teamwork together as a whole here. Typically when you see, for example, the smoke train of a Vampire 2 and a Colbert or Smolensk or Schlieffen, whatever that might look like, typically, you know, you see those people together in a division and they can communicate via Discord or chat, an audio call, so that they can greater communicate, you know, hey, I'm going to be ready to turn left now. You can say the smoke screen. So this is a bit unpolished on my part and just trying to utilize it well. But he says, hey, 45 seconds until smoke. And I'm like, great, circling back to you now. And I told him when I went dark, so then he knows. So then, again, we're communicating together. I think it's hard in World of Warships because the game does not incentivize team play. You don't get rewarded for it. I mean, you get the combat scout if you get enough damage and you get enough spotting damage, because he's the one who's basically doing all the spotting on the Ohio and Kremlin here. So I'd be curious, John, if you are watching this, let me know if you actually knew how much spotting damage you got from that game. I'm actually meant to message you and ask, but I forgot about it. I'd be curious to know if you did actually get a sizable amount. Because here in Airship Escort, it's really just been us over here on the flank with the Shikishima. So no one else has been really doing the spotting besides our vampire friend here. So he tells me, hey, I'm moving forward now. I'm like, great. Continue to use quick commands. You can just do that by pressing and holding the B key and then selecting the command, or using your F keys on the top. So then we're concentrating fire. So this Ohio's pushing back in, and Ohio's not going to get away from us at this point. So I'm fearing that, oh, is he going to go super aggressive? Is he going to charge us? Because if so, that's going to be an issue. But when you're trying to do teamwork with people that you're not even in a division with, you know, random strangers, I mean, often what I'll do, kind of like what this vampire did, is I'll offer, I'm like, hey, Genon, would you like me to drop a smoke? Or Radar Minotaur, do you want a smoke screen? Hey, Battleship, you're low on health. Would you like me to drop a smoke screen? Usually I always ask rather than just automatically doing it, because I've just dropped smoke screens for people and they just like blow through the smoke screen and end up dying, or they keep firing and the smoke firing penalty gives them away. So you utilize your chat function in being helpful and doing excellent team play. So again, John tells me 20 seconds left on the smoke screen. Fantastic. So now I know I definitely need to get this Ohio killed as soon as possible before the smoke ends up going out, so then I can ensure a little bit of health. You know, I told him earlier, hey, I've got some more health. I know I can heal back too. And I say, hey, well done. He's laughing in chat. He's having a good time. Now, of course, you're going to have players in World of Warships that play very selfishly. I'd say the majority of most players in World of Warships, they play more for themselves. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. That's just that there's nothing in the game that incentivizes team play, you know, like spotting. You know, if you were a destroyer player and you could actually get a lot more experience or base XP because you are doing spotting damage of 100,000, 50,000, 100,000, 150,000, 200,000 spotting damage, like you should be rewarded for that, but the game doesn't reward you for that. So for him, it's a very much more passive behavior. I tell him, you know, you can find me on YouTube. So he did say he found me on YouTube. So I'm glad that you did. And I just want to reinforce this positive behavior. When you have players, especially like John here, you know, when he offered to, hey, do you want to do smoke train? Like, awesome. Like, that's so cool. Because usually with a team play, when you're not a division or you're not a clanmate, you just talk with each other. You just offer it. And then if, you know, I said no thanks or I don't respond, then he knows he just gets to play for himself. But when you have the opportunities to make some really good plays, when you can offer like, hey, do you want to do this strategy? Do you want to do this tactic? And the person says yes, then great. If no, that's okay too. It could also be that that person maybe is not confident with the tactic, or they don't really know what you're talking about. Because I see some players get really frustrated with others, and that's honestly sometimes it's just that person's not confident or not comfortable, and so maybe they sometimes just don't respond. Other times they just don't really care, or they might not just be paying attention to the chat at all. So this vampire is going to get us up over 200,000 just as the game ends. And now we're going to go to the post-battle results. So here's our post-battle results. We actually are running some credit and free XP modifiers. So we got over 1 million credits, 200,000 damage, 8,000 XP, 8,700 free XP, with 644 shell hits and 9 set on fires with 2 destroyed. And this game wasn't very long. As you can see, it was a bit of a wash. Our team was doing a really good job in the starting zone in this opposite side of the map. Doing really well. How long was this game? This game was just 10 minutes. So it was like, whoa. And then our vampire friend, he only got 900 base XP. He's second from the bottom, which, I mean, apparently matchmaking really favored us versus the enemy team, because this is a bit absurd. But he had fun. He had a good time. He did a team play, and so I definitely complimented him. And with him, because without him, I wouldn't have been able to have this play. I would not have had almost 2,000 base XP with the 2 kills because of what he did. Like, I totally acknowledge the fact that he made this possible. Otherwise, probably down here, I mean, it could have been a completely different result. And we only did 3,000 damage upon spotting. So I'm just like, man, I'm really curious, John, I'm sorry if I'm calling you John and it's like completely different in how you have this. But if you did know your spotting damage, I would be super curious to know that in the comments below. So we had some 15,000 AP shell damage, 125,000 high explosive shell damage, and of course the fires were just crushing our Ohio, or the Ohio, and then the Kremlin. So that's a lot of that passive damage, and that's kind of what makes Colbert shine so much. And then with premium account, this is where we ended with over 940,000 credits and 15,000 commander XP. So team play makes the dream play, teamwork makes the dream work. If both of those terms work, or if it's just only one or the other, choose which one works best for you in your mind. But really want to just reinforce this positive behavior and make a video on this, because I was very pleased with our vampire's behavior, and that he even offered was very kind of him. So thank you very much, sir, in helping myself to have a really good game, and just how like us working together as a team with that Shikishima and just crushing that flank completely against those guys. So just an all-around fun game, and it's fun when you have that teamwork, right? It shouldn't always just be about the selfish trying to do as best as you can, but also having fun in the game, right? I think that's the reason why most of us play the game. So if you liked today's video, go thumbs up. If you did not, go thumbs down. Subscribe if you do want to see more. If you're subscribed, thanks so much. I would appreciate it, and we'll catch you next time. Take care.